A military veteran charged with multiple felonies is accused of violently kidnapping his girlfriend and burglarizing her home.
But KSAT Investigates found massive flaws in the investigation and a darker story beneath the surface of a criminal case that has now fallen apart.
The most dangerous abusers are those who can use the system to continue controlling their victims. Because of her legal sophistication, she has been able to manipulate a lot of people within the system, including law enforcement who are not legally sophisticated.
Tonight, Dylan Collier examines the missteps from law enforcement and the fallout for the man accused.
So we're not playing this game right now, all right?
A quick glance at Tony Valdez's arrest records leads you to assume that he would soon be spending time in prison. The former Army medic was accused of running after his girlfriend outside this Northwest Side neighborhood November 18th, pulling her back to his truck against her will and hitting her before the dispute continued at her home. Melanie Hagner's garage door was visibly damaged. Valdez, a weightlifter, had, according to the sheriff's office, ripped it off its rails while trying to break into her house. State law prevents us from showing body camera footage recorded inside residences, but here is audio of what Hagner told the Bexar County Sheriff's deputy who responded to the scene.
He pulled you back into that car against your will, correct?
Yes.
Okay, no worries. Hey, that's good. You want to pursue charges?
I had imminent fear of grave bodily harm.
A law school student at St. Mary's, Hagner's recitation of parts of the Texas Penal Code would have a major impact on what played out over the next few hours, as Valdez, who had no previous criminal record, would soon be charged with kidnapping and burglary of a habitation by force, both felonies, as well as misdemeanor family violence causing bodily injury.
I'm just stunned at how this is working. Like, kidnapping, bodily injury. I just wanted to go home, sir. Like, I don't want a relationship with her. Okay. I am trying to run away from her.
Valdez would pick up another misdemeanor charge less than 2 months later, after Hagner showed up at his apartment while he was on house arrest. Valdez called San Antonio police. Even though SAPD officers confirmed it was his residence, they determined Valdez had violated a protective order put in place after his initial arrest by allowing Hagner to spend time there.
I feel betrayed. I feel betrayed by the system.
A closer examination of the evidence raises serious questions about the handling of the case by the sheriff's office. Remember that claim repeated time and again that Valdez had dragged Hagner into his truck along Shanefield Road? Turns out multiple eyewitnesses disputed it on the deputy's own body camera.
And when he was dragging her back to the vehicle, how was he dragging her?
No, he didn't drag her. He grabbed her, but she got away from him.
Then there's this. A follow-up report from a BCSO investigator included a witness statement that Hagner could have left the roadside dispute but did not, and that she actually drove the truck from the scene because Valdez had hurt his knee while trying to get his phone back from her.
At any point did you drag her into your vehicle?
Absolutely not. She drove me.
Did you burglarize her home?
Absolutely not. I did not even step in.
Did you hit her at any point?
Absolutely not.
Court records from a 2019 divorce involving Hagner show the garage door was previously damaged. Even the deputy's supervisors seemed to express skepticism about where he was going with possible charges the evening of Valdez's arrest.
I just don't know if it reaches the level of kidnapping.
He spoke to the Night Mag assistant district attorney. She told him not to bring the felony charges. He wrote them up as felony charges. And when he brought them to that same person later, she rubber stamped it and put it in front of a judge who rubber stamped it.
The charges against Valdez remained pending for nearly 5 months. The same day, KSAT Investigates sat down with him and defense attorney Joe Holscher, Bexar County prosecutors finally moved to reject all 4 cases. A district attorney spokesperson telling us in a statement the rejection decision came after the attorney assigned to it reviewed testimony from a protective order hearing. Hagner declined multiple interview requests from KSAT, and although she sent us a multitude of text messages, she did not provide a response on the record. With his criminal charges behind him, Valdez is now attempting to put out a series of fires on the civil side. Representing herself, Hagner has sued Valdez for property damage in small claims court, has filed for sanctions against Holscher, and in late March, filed for divorce from Valdez even though they were never married and only dated for a few months. In late November, a week after Valdez was taken into custody, his legal counsel says Hagner added herself to Valdez's auto insurance policy and changed his marital status to married.
So there is no aspect of Tony's life that is untouched by Melanie Hagner because she's acting like a lawyer and has access to his personal information.
I'm thinking this woman's going to destroy me. She's going to want to destroy me because I don't want to be with her. It's about control.
For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dylan Collier.
St. Mary's University officials confirm Hagner is enrolled at their law school. They did not release her anticipated graduation date. A San Antonio attorney who employed Hagner as a summer clerk said she fired her after a charge on a client's credit card was traced back to Hagner.
Now, Hagner has not been charged with any crime in connection to her prior employment or interactions with Valdez. KSAT could not find any records showing BCSO deputies have been implicated in any acts of professional misconduct in connection to the investigation of Valdez.
In a statement, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office defended its handling of this case, telling KSAT it takes every domestic violence claim seriously and will file and pursue appropriate charges in the interest of justice for victims. Quote, in this particular case, victim statements as well as that of a corroborating witness led to the decision to make an arrest. End quote.